Welcome back to the final part of your midweek 6 o'clock show. Niamh and Garode have rejoined us. They're in the kitchen for a bit of grub and a bit of agony ranting as well. But Susan Jane, it's over to you. You have all our help.
Oh, excellent. Well, I've actually prepared most of it, Martin.
Well, then we'll just watch.
We'll just chat and watch. So we're making an apple crumble. Us Irish adore our apple crumbles. And this time of year, there's lots of apples going around. My mum has only about 2 trees, but she's constantly giving me apples.
Okay, so as we can see.
Yes. So, but if you don't know of anyone with an apple tree, just grab whatever apples you can in a supermarket. I actually prefer the edible ones rather than the cooking apples because you don't add as much sugar. Cooking apples are pretty bitter, right?
Okay.
So any eating apples are just perfectly fine. And you chop up your chosen apples and you fill an oven dish. It's not very scientific. If your oven dish is this size, great. If it's bigger, just fill that as well.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep on going. So as you can see, my chopping skills are so admirable.
Yeah, but with something like this, you just cut as you go.
Yeah, it's really forgiving. I love it. So why is it prebiotic, Martin? Well, I'll tell you what. So there's 2 things you need to know about prebiotic.
Okay.
Firstly, prebiotics are not probiotics. Okay. So probiotics are the live cultured food like yogurt, like kimchi and German sauerkraut, like kombucha and kefir, those drinks. Prebiotics are the things that feed your population, your microflora.
Okay.
Inside.
Are we making notes here, guys?
Yes, straight away.
I'm very excited about my
microflora. Microflora.
Okay.
So think of them as kind of like the dinner for your live bacteria. Okay. So there's not every food that has those prebiotics, but oats have loads of it. Okay. The fiber in oats is prebiotic. Pectin in apples, prebiotic. And then I came across an Irish brand. I'm going to just pour it in. Instead of sugar, this is called chicory root syrup, and it is just pure prebiotic. So I'm really excited that this is all local Irish superfoods.
So this is good for you?
This is good for you. It's called homespun chicory root syrup. So they're the only people in Ireland. It's by Erica from Dublin.
Okay, thanks, Erica. Thanks, Erica.
We love you, Erica.
And that's what I'm using. And then we're going to pop that in the oven. Actually, I'm going to cover it with foil.
I'll just ask you where you get that. I mean,
yeah, you get that. So I got this one in Super Value, but I know I've seen it in Tesco's.
Okay, so you'll get it in most of them.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely in health food stores as well. So now I'm just popping, you know what, I think I'll add a bit of cinnamon because I love the smell of cinnamon.
Well, it's that time of year, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's gorgeous. And kind of cinnamon and apple. It's a bit like, you know, Edward and Jedward. It's kind of necessary. So we're going to put this in the oven, Martin, for 20 minutes.
What kind of heat?
Then about 180.
Okay.
Or until it collapses. Your apples might collapse sooner or they might collapse later. So when it's kind of mushy, then you take it out and you put the topping on. So we're going to do the topping really fast. I have gluten-free flour here, about 70 grams. You can use brown rice flour or rice flour either, or just plain white flour is fine.
Okay.
And then 100 grams of good old Irish oats. Okay. I'm going to use my fingers to mix that around. Not a lot of sugar because actually you don't need it. Say 3 tablespoons of whatever sugar you have, it's fine. But there's going to be lots of sweetness in the chicory root syrup. Yeah. And this is also really good for diabetics. It's low GI. It's really funky. It's groovy. I'm all over this now. And you guys will be too.
I'm really focused. Really focused on this. Yeah.
You don't need one MasterChef.
I know.
She does, and sometimes when she's making a dinner, she'll passive-aggressively put the trophy on the table.
Do not.
Oh, she does, yeah, you go for it. That's the first thing you say. She'd serve you a chili, point the trophy.
I'm shaking. I have been since I saw her.
Don't bow to it, Susan.
Yeah, that happens.
Don't let her away with it.
He's not in any way intimidated by it.
Would you have to do any baking on MasterChef?
Yeah, I actually did make a crumble, not as fabulous as this now. I have to tell you, I had to do it, you know, lastminute.com. It was basically raid the pantry and good luck to you.
Okay.
You know, and that's really it. And I did some, but, you know, mostly it was mainly savoury. And we did dessert week, which involved some very serious pastry chef coming over to show us all the fancy stuff.
Oh,
so we made a sticky toffee pudding that didn't look like a sticky toffee pudding, but it was amazing. Ooh, and there was like 500 processes to get to it, you know, which was interesting. But, you know, it's always good to widen your horizons, but you cannot beat, like,
Poor Susan.
And I would not. I
Will we get
love
her a
oats
stool?
in it. I love oats or anything that gives you a bit more texture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also the gluten-free flour is actually, if you're going to buy a flour, buy the gluten-free flour or the rice flour, because that is actually what makes shortbread really buttery and delicious. Yeah. I have butter in here, about 90 grams of butter. If you're vegan, you can just do it with coconut oil. That's no problem. So you can see where it's kind of, I've just mushed in with my fingertips. It looks like a crumble. Funny that. So we're going to pretend that that's been in for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And all the apple has mushed down, Martin, and we're going to stick it on top, and then bake until the crumble is literally golden. So it's actually it's very, very simple. So I'm just going to shake this on top, and if you're not using your crumble straight away, into the fridge it goes. Okay.
And it will last for how long? Couple of days?
A couple of days. When I say crumble, I mean the topping. You can make it in advance and then do your fruit another time.
So that doesn't need to be covered going back in?
No, I'm going to brown the top of it. Well, when I say brown, lightly colour. And then, about half an hour later, ooh la la.
This is what we get. Oh, look, Anna, it's heart-shaped too, folks.
There we go.
And it's good for your heart.
Yeah, it's good for your heart.
Good for your heart. It's got to be good for your heart. All that butter.
I'm going to serve it up with some probiotics.
Oh, so the pre is being sorted, and here comes the pro.
Yeah. And you know what? This is
And here comes Karen.
Hello, Karen.
Oh, boo! Yes, listening attentively over in the corner. While you're dishing up, I wanted to ask our agony rants here, you the experts. Of course, your podcast out now where you discuss people's dilemmas, and we got a dilemma into you, and it's of the dating variety, which is my favourite.
Oh, dear.
This is from Shauna. I was messaging a guy on a dating app during lockdown, and we went on one date. He was eager, but things fizzled out for me. A few months ago, I matched with another guy who turned out to be one of his best friends. We are now properly dating, and he wants to introduce me to his friend group. What do I do? Let's go for calm, then let's go to crazy.
Calm is, if this man really likes you, he already has told his friend. And, the truth is, one date does not a marriage make. Right? So that's the calm. And then now shall we go to the wheelie bin through the door?
What would you say to Shauna?
I think she's nothing to be ashamed of. She just get in there, own the situation, just walk in front of all the friends and say, him, loser. Back in control of the situation.
For a minute there, I thought you were being extra calm. I was going, something has happened here.
I don't know if I'd recommend that.
No.
No, but I think you're right. You get in there
Own
and
the
you just say,
situation,
hey, how
take
are you?
control.
That's one day.
Hey, how are you? Are you still awful? Yeah.
It depends on how.
He wasn't awful to her, you know?
No, it just wasn't chemistry,
I know,
clearly.
but if she feels intimidated going into the situation, she has to take control. It's not about him, it's about her.
But I wonder why you'd be intimidated after one date. In my head, I'm
This is why
feeling.
they need 30 minutes on a podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
I can inhabit
Give me
like
the
a strong independent woman.
Karen, would you like a crumble?
Susan Jane,
Here you. Maybe the crumble.
Excellent. And as I was saying to them earlier on, your bowel movements would be practically Instagrammable tonight.
I can't wait to check out both your grids
Nobody
tonight.
needs to see that.
I'm so looking forward to my dinner tonight.
Delicious. Susan Jane, it's beautiful. It's really tasty. That's all we have time for on tonight's show. Big thank you to our guests and, of course, to Susan Jane for tonight's Apple Crumble and our bowel movements later tonight.